like to welcome you all to the March 28th, 2025 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. I'd like to call
It's
this
May.
meeting, May, sorry.
It's okay.
May. Time is flying. Let me do that again. Welcome everyone to the May 28th, 2025 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Did all commissioners have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any corrections that we need? No. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, May 14th, 2025.
Second.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Next item is a petition for transfer of license and change of location. The transfer for all alcoholic beverages and annual package store liquor license from Graham's Package Store, Inc., DBA Graham's Package Store, located at 1649 1651 Main Street, to PPNG, Inc., DBA Chestnut Package Store, located at 492 Bridge Street. Pallavan Patel, manager of record. Who's here today for?
I am.
For
Good
this
evening. I am attorney Rachel Fancy here on behalf of the petitioner. As some of you, sorry, there's just a little feedback I'm getting.
Can everybody else mute yourselves, please?
Okay.
Sorry about that, Attorney Fancy.
No problem. As the commission may
Excuse me, can everyone please mute themselves, please?
Whoever is iPhone 4, I'm pretty sure it's you. Can you please mute yourself?
Yeah, Toral Patel.
Can you mute yourself, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll restart. Sorry about that. As the commission may recall, we are here with relation to the Graham's Package Store, which is up for termination. And in lieu of that, my client is seeking to obtain the license currently held by Graham's Package Store and utilize it at an existing liquor store location, which is 492 Bridge Street, which is the Chestnut Package Store. The license that was previously there, or is semi-quasi still there, is moving to St. James Avenue. So essentially what would happen is the ownership would remain substantially the same at the two locations. The managers obviously would be different, but ownership substantially the same, with the Bridge Street current Chestnut location's address moving to the St. James location, and the Graham's one moving to this 492 Bridge Street address. In preparation for this, we did meet with the neighborhood council. We went to a subsect of that neighborhood council as well and met with them, heard a lot of their concerns about, the community and certain things that my client can do to, help and try and deter some of the negative impacts that the store might have, such as, littering and loitering. And my client is prepared to make some changes to his operations to ensure and deter that. And I think the commission overall, or the council overall, thought that those were reasonable efforts that they would be making, and is committed to remaining in contact with them to uphold those efforts. The neighborhood council ended up saying they would take pretty much a no stance on it, and We're taking that as sort of business as usual is fine with them. But I know Betsy Johnson, who is the head of that neighborhood council, is here, so I'm happy to let her speak on that. And I don't want to put words in the neighborhood's mouth at all on that. We did go to the planning board because this would be a change of premises as well. So we would be moving the Graham's license, obviously, to 492 Bridge Street, which required planning approval. Because this was an existing liquor store location, there would be no alterations. And so planning voted to approve the transfer because, as stated, it was previously operated for a liquor store. The plans are to continue its operation as a liquor store with the same hours and, again, substantially the same ownership structure with just some slight changes as to who the operating manager is of the entity. The other thing I wanted to just point out is I know later on this agenda, there is the item regarding the termination, and I think it would be very critical to maybe have conversations about both at the same time. So in light of that, I know one of the pieces that was of concern of the commission was the lien that is currently on the Graham's license. I believe there's two. That could be wrong. It could be more or less. And those have been semi-resolved by agreement with counsel who represents the lien holders. And we have submitted to the commission today a letter, an email from that counsel basically saying that he is approving the transfer subject to him getting his clients being paid at closing. So that should allow this commission to approve, should they so choose to, the transfer and amendment for the change of location. And push this on to the next level, and as well allow the ABCC to do the same. And then once that has occurred, allowed for those liens to be resolved. Happy to answer any questions that the commission may have regarding this application, the process, or how we got here today.
Thank you, Attorney Fancy. Any questions from the commissioners? No. Okay. So I do remember the space. And there aren't going to be any changes at all, you mentioned.
That is correct. It's going to operate the same. There might be, some additional lighting added, but that would be external, if anything, and would not need any sort of approvals to add an additional light.
Okay. And when exactly is all this going to happen? This move from, Grams to Chestnut and Chestnut to
The Chestnut to St. James Ave is
the St. James.
currently in the process of doing so. Unfortunately, just due to like closing and logistical measures on the back end, that approval's already gone through. It's just there's some closing aspects that need to finalize and be resolved with that space for that to progress forward. But that could happen, relatively soon. So there could be a lull between where that 492 might be vacant for a time period until this gets approved by ABCC.
So, Attorney Fancy, I don't mean to jump in, but my understanding is it was conditional on the approval of the license transfer, so that there was some, in other words, that was my understanding, is that the license transfer is one of the factors as it relates to that.
No, the license that we're talking about is the St. James. So there's a
I
license
apologize.
that was moved to St. James Avenue. So
Okay.
that's going through no matter what. That has been approved, is going through. It's just a logistical issue at this point. The transfer itself is part of the same application process with this transfer. So there's the transfer and the amendment, and they're a dual application to both transfer the license to my client, PPNG, and move said license to 492 Bridge Street.
Okay.
Attorney Fancy, could you please tell me the address again on the St. James Avenue?
I'd have to pull it up. I believe it's 572. But my client is on the president of the company is here. He can answer that exactly. Do you mind if I defer to my client, Hash Gogri?
Absolutely. I just need to know the address on that property, please. Hello, person there?
He is here. He looks like he's having some trouble unmuting himself. But I believe it's 572 or 576, and the reason is part of that transaction, one of the last remaining pieces is both properties were acquired, but I believe it was 572
Yeah.
that the license actually got transferred to.
It is 572.
572 St. James Avenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
You may have been muted,
John
Commissioner
muted
Ramirez.
himself. Yeah.
John, you have another question? You muted yourself.
Yeah.
yes, just, if you can just give me about 15 seconds, I'm just looking something up real quick.
Okay, in the meantime, John, I am going to have Ms. Johnson. I don't know if she wanted to,
Well, I
chime
would
in.
just, I thank you. We did send a statement that was sent to both the planning commission, the planning board and the liquor commission. The overall Metro Center Association decided in this case to defer to the sub-neighborhood group of the Mattoon Historic Preservation Association because they are it's the residents of Mattoon Street and the adjacent Pearl Street properties that are most impacted by the existing Chestnut Liquor Store. And I must say, every week or now it's every other week at the C3 meetings with the police, we do have to bring up that there is considerable open alcoholic consumption and loitering in the vicinity of the package store. And what was a particular concern to a number of the Mattoon Street residents who live on the even side of the street was the fact that these folks sitting around then start playing loud noise music late. So we discussed all that, but we discussed all this with the owners of the store and also about the trash issues that then accumulate in this area. And there were, and I know they got the same comments back from the planning board and have made commitments to all of us, both entities, that they would do more to, not just be look inside and, think about their operations inside, but consider some of their operations really extending out into the sidewalk on both sides of their property of where on that section of Bridge Pearl Street. And the neighborhood association, on the other hand, wants to keep a vibrant business going in the neighborhood, which is why eventually they took the position to not take a position, to, in a sense, to defer to not opposing, not necessarily being for it, but definitely not being opposed to it. And so just know that we're looking forward to, them expanding their efforts to be a good neighbor in the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Johnson. John?
Okay, I'm just trying to think back. And I know when we, on the St. James Avenue, wasn't there a situation about the driveway, which way they would be going in and out of that location?
Yes, and
uh,
that
I just want to make sure that still holds, even though it'll be new owners or that situation must maintain.
So that's a separate issue, but so that was resolved, the resolution, and that has concluded, was that property was purchased by the operator. So now the operator owns the shared driveway spaces, so he's the only person that has any sort of issues with himself. So that was completely resolved, and that ownership isn't really changing. It's still the same ownership at that location. And again, the substantially the same ownership, just with a different manager of record at this other location, which is operated under the same managerial structure.
Right, so one of my concerns when I brought up back then was the fact that we want to make sure that no one was cutting across the partition for the road there to create a impeding traffic situation. If you bear with me 1 second, because I'm trying to locate to make sure. Because I know they put some type of medium, but it's not. I think that people can still continue cutting across that instead of going all the way around. That's why one of my issues was a driveway and stuff like that. I can't get a current picture of the that situation, but I just want to make sure that is maintained, and so that way there won't be any impeding traffic going each way.
You mean entering and exiting the site?
Yeah, but there was a medium. They did something there with a roundabout.
Okay, I'd have to double check what was, I believe, that might have been, I might have attended one or two of the hearings, but I think Attorney Stratton in my office might have been there, so I'd have to double check that. I can't necessarily speak to that application or that license tonight. I just have the information regarding this license, but I can definitely get back to the commission on that. And I know one issue, and I'm not sure if this is also it, there was some discussion about trying to alter the curb cuts, but we could not do that because DPW obviously controls curb cuts and entering and exiting. So traffic flow is, we can encourage customers to go a certain way on the property, but at the end of the day, it's like any McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. Customers sometimes do exactly what they want to do. And so we do have some level of limitation on that, but we can definitely follow up on that piece. Like I said, I don't have that information off the top of my head, but I can, if the commission would like, I can talk with Attorney Stratton in my office and then reach back out to Attorney Schmidt and sort of clarify that.
It just
Sir.
it's just one of the things is because it seems like now the entrance to that location, if they're coming from, they would have to basically go around the roundabout and come swing in. I think exiting, they can take a right out of there. My concern is them taking a left and cutting through and impeding traffic. And I understand that's not really too much of the concern of your property owner and stuff like that. I just wanted to put it into light that we need to be careful with that.
Understood.
I can't picture right now what they did about that roundabout and what they put in there. Was it like a raised curb or something?
Can I just indicate, Commissioner Ramirez, that I had an opportunity to go by there pretty much every day. Since we had the discussion, there were no improvements on the traffic, but now, since they inserted the roundabout, traffic has eased considerably at that location.
Okay.
Now, with you're saying that, for people going left, that might be still an issue, but the traffic has definitely decreased considerably with the roundabout.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, I'm done.
Maria, did you have a question?
No, I was just kind of trying to get a Google Earth view of the area myself, and I wasn't able to pull it up either. I don't think they've quite updated it yet.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No. Then, I mean, what I can, I'd like to make a motion to approve the petition for transfer of license and change of location, transfer of all alcoholic beverages, annual package store liquor license from Graham's Package Store, Inc., DBA Graham's Package Store, located at 1649, 1651 Main Street, to PPNG, Inc., DBA Chestnut Package Store, located at 492 Bridge Street. Tarbin Patel, Manager of Record. There a second? There a second?
Second,
Commissioner Kane,
Yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. I'd like to just remind Mr. Patel or Mrs. Patel to remember to be good neighbors. And remember what Ms. Johnson mentioned and what the neighborhood council would like to see from this business and the owners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Next item on the agenda is a petition. Oh, I am so sorry. Can we just jump over to the final section 77 final hearing for Graham's Package? I think that's what Attorney Fianci was trying to say earlier. So let's jump to the section 77 final hearing. Is Graham's Package Store, Inc., DBA Graham's Package Store, located at 1649, 1651 Main Street, Richard Laffey Jr., Manager of Record. And this is for transfer and sales of the package store liquor license.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So
Here we are.
here we are. So given that the commission has approved the transfer, thank you. I would just ask that obviously the termination hearing continue to track as we wait for the ABCC just to review the application when it gets there and subject to approval. There are no other outstanding conditions. The liens that are on the license there's sufficient sale proceeds that would be able to satisfy those. And we have, as Attorney Fianci has already indicated, we've already negotiated to address those issues. And in fact, we've consulted with the ABCC as well. So counsel for the ABCC has also weighed in on their position that they would communicate with the lien holder, counsel for the lien holder, to coordinate the approval of the license at the ABCC level, subject to background and all of those things, but the liens would be addressed simultaneously at the time that the license would be approved when it comes back to Springfield. So just asking that we not be terminated, we allow to continue to move forward towards this to complete the transaction.
Okay. Attorney Smith, how long do you think these are these approvals at the ABCC level are taking right now? I just want to know, should we continue for a month or two?
I think to be safe, we should do 2.
2 months. Okay.
So if it happens sooner, they can call the office and see if we can put them on.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Because if it happens sooner, they shouldn't have to wait until the 2 months, and we can get them in and they can get their business going.
And if the attorneys want a month, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Well, if we put on for a month, can we request just a continuance rather than having to appear and be on the agenda? We can request a continuance if it doesn't come back from Boston. Can we do that through your office, or do you want us to appear?
That's fine with me if it's fine with the commission.
I
Yes,
think
you
either
can
way it
do
works.
it through the office. I'm sorry, John.
I think either way works, so.
So a
Whatever's
month would be, the next hearing is, well, that's not a month. A month would be June 25th.
How about the first one in July?
July 9th.
That's fine.
Attorneys?
That's fine. I'm away, but I certainly can zoom in from anywhere.
That works for
I
me.
would be more than happy to zoom in.
John, you want to make that motion?
Attorney Fancy, is that July 9th date good for you?
It does.
I submit a motion to continue this till July 9th, our next first meeting in July.
Second,
Commissioner Kane,
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you, everybody.
And,
Thank you.
hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a petition for Max's Grill LLC, DBA Max's Tavern located at 1000 Hall of Fame Avenue. This is for a change of ownership interest for 2023 and 2024. Scott Smith, manager of record.
Hello again. Attorney
Hello.
Rachel Fancy here on behalf of Max Grill LLC, doing business as Max's Tavern. I'm here today to talk about really what is two changes, but are being presented to you as one change. The first being a 2023 redemption, whereby I believe it was 2 or 3 members had their stock in the entity which is the owner of the license. So the owner of the license is Max Hospitality, and there are stockholders obviously in that. 2 or 3 of the stockholders had their stock redeemed by Max Hospitality, which just means that Max Hospitality reclaimed their ownership, and then it gets sort of reapportioned amongst all the owners based on what they have left. So that happened in 2023, and then in 2024, what the Max Hospitality elected to do, they have several restaurants, obviously across Massachusetts and Connecticut. They decided to give several of their key longstanding employees ownership in the company. And so by doing that, they gave them a little piece of ownership, and that requires an additional amendment. Operations really don't change of the ownership just because it's a corporation. So the management still stays the same. The owners are just who own the actual stock change, and it's very minimal ownership percentages. We're not talking about extensive managing control of the company at all. And part of the reason there's been a little bit of delay is because these changes were coming along together. So when one change sort of concluded, the next change then started to happen. And so then it was thought, let's just wait for these changes to resolve themselves and then come and resolve our licensing stuff. So they just resolved the Connecticut pieces of it, and now we're doing the Massachusetts pieces. So while I'm here before you today, I will also be before Longmeadow in a few weeks, doing the same sort of spiel to them, explaining the process. As I stated, operations will not be changing. There will be no real change in the flow of things, change in hours of operation. It's just going to be a housekeeping thing where some minor percentage of interest was regained by the company, and some other minor percent of interest was given out to several key employees who have been longstanding employees of the company for several years. I'm happy to answer any questions on this as the commission may have.
Thank you. Any questions from the commissioners?
I'm good.
No. Okay, well, that was pretty clear to me, at least. I'd like to make a motion to approve the petition for Max's Grill LLC, DBA Max's Tavern located at 1000 Hall of Fame Avenue. This is a change of ownership interest for 2023 and 2024. Scott Smith, manager of record.
Second.
Commissioner Kay,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you, Attorney Fancy.
Thank you so much, and I promise it's the last you'll hear from me tonight. Have a nice one.
You too, thank you. Next item on the agenda is a petition for change of manager for Salaba Inc., DBA Dali Taco and Mexican Catering, located at 309 Berkshire Avenue, from Milka Ramos Jimenez to Pamela Blanco Gonzalez.
Good evening, Neil Phillips for the parties, the owner of the business who's right here, along with his daughter-in-law who wants to be appointed as manager of the facility. And she has experience in this field. And she's working there now, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I helped
Yeah.
them already. Yep.
Helping out already. So she's familiar and she's ready to take over the reins.
Okay, great. And your name again?
Neil Phillips.
Neil, Attorney Phillips, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Ms.
If you-
Blanco,
This is the old
how
Friendlies.
are you? I'm sorry?
Yeah. This is the old Friendlies building that
Right,
he renovated completely.
okay. Ms. Blanco, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and, you know, whether you have any experience being a manager of record for a serving establishment?
Yeah, of course. I don't have specific experience being a manager. That's just nothing, it's not something I've done before, but I have been in the restaurant industry since I was 17. I'm 30 now. I met Mr. Blanco actually working together at Frontera Grill in Chicopee, where I used to be a server, then was bartender. I also worked at Frontera Grill in Springfield. And I did this up till the end of 2020 when I just stopped working at restaurants. I'm also an entrepreneur, I have my own business at the moment doing photography. But I am very involved with Mr. Blanco's Clali Tacos restaurant since the opening. I have been there. It's almost my second home because I'm there so much. I also help them with their social media. So yeah, anything else I can share?
Fully
Sure.
involved in the business.
Yeah.
Are you tip certified right now?
It expired. I didn't realize it was already expired because I wasn't actively bartending, but I can definitely get that very soon. I've been tip certified pretty much all my life.
Okay. And what are the hours at Dali's?
That I would be there.
Yes.
So I would be helping them in the evenings. Like I mentioned, I also have my own business doing photography, but that's mainly during the daytime. So that would allow me, since it's my own business and I put my own hours, that would allow me to be there on the evenings and help them in the time that it's more important for the liquor.
Okay. The reason why I asked this question is because part of being a manager of record is assuming this responsibility. So whether you are there or not, if anything happens, you will be responsible for coming in front of this board and explaining what exactly happened.
Yeah, I'm aware and I am fully ready to take on that responsibility.
Okay, perfect. And you live where?
165 Prospect Street in Chicopee.
Okay. Okay. How many servers are there right now?
Part-time, full-time, 3 and 2 part-time.
So 3 full-time and 2 part-time.
And then they're all tip certified.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions from the commissioners?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to, I know she indicated that she would be there part-time in the evenings, but can you give us the number of hours you actually will be on the premises?
Honestly, I would probably be there, like I said, if the evenings every day. I don't know how many hours.
30.
Like 30 a week. A
Okay.
guesstimate.
So I think what Commissioner Cade would like to know is, so are you gonna be there from 5 to 11? Are you gonna be there, I'm not sure, I can't remember what the closing hours are right
Yeah,
now.
so full time, but it would be till closing. So during the weekdays they close at 10, and then on the weekends they close at 11. So till closing.
Okay.
I
Any
have
other
a
questions?
question. How quickly are you gonna get your tip certification straightened out?
I can get that. I can get it as soon as possible. I can probably get that worked out tomorrow if I'm able to do it online.
So that is very important
Yeah.
because you do need to be tip certified.
Mhm.
And you can do it online, and it should be fairly easy for you because you already have the experience.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that you take care of that tomorrow.
Well, I
Yeah.
would suggest to the commission, if we're voting on this, we should make it contingent on receipt of her tip certification.
That's correct. I
Mhm.
agree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioners? No. That we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the petition for a change of manager for Salapa Inc., DBA Valley Taco and Mexican Catering located at 309 Berkshire Avenue from Milka Ramos Jimenez to Pamela Blanco Gonzalez, contingent upon Ms. Blanco Gonzalez obtaining her tip certification. Is there a second?
Second,
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Ms. Blanco, as soon as you do that tomorrow, can you please call the license office and send them either a copy of it or let them know that you have already completed
Yes, I can.
the application? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a good
you
night.
for your time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda is informational hearings. We have Orchard Card Company, Inc., DBA Orchard Card Company, Inc., located at 421 Main Street, Indian Orchard, manager of, and this is in regards to tax issues and special permit and licensing.
So I can update the current status is that they've entered into a payment plan with regard to their taxes, but they still do not have a special permit. And there's actually pending litigation in the housing court. So the company, at this point still cannot be operating, cannot be selling cars. They have no special permit. So that's where we are.
Are they right now? Who's here for Orchard Card?
Me, my name's Edward Svetto.
Hi, Edward.
Hi.
Are you operating right now?
No, I'm not operating right now.
You're not. Okay.
No. I bring all the paperwork to the city of licensing, application, and payment plan, and proof of current payment of the taxes and the amount of taxes was paid, and also left interest on the taxes I'm paying right now. And
Okay. I
they
think
should-
that part Attorney Smith did confirm that has been taken care of. Our question and concern right now would be that special permit that you need in order to be in business.
Yes, that's what I'm waiting. I told I'm gonna get the special permit tonight. Because I submit all the paperwork what they ask in the license department. An agreement of the business payment plan, the signed by I think 4 or 5 people there, even the mayor signed there, and I submit that, and actually I make extra payments ahead of time 2 months ago. and that should be all set, from my understanding.
No, because sir, you don't have a special permit. You have to get a special permit.
Yeah, okay, and I cleaned a lot, and the lot is clean. And how I can get the special permit then? From the city?
Mm-hmm. You have to go before the planning board. That's not this board. We don't control that.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Any questions from the commissioners?
Nope.
No. Attorney Smith, so, should we go ahead and, continue? Or move it to a pre-hearing conference?
I mean, no, I think we would continue. I mean, we don't have any violation in front of us. So I would continue it as an informational hearing at this point. And hopefully, you know, the business can figure out their special permitting issues. But I don't think that's terribly close to being resolved. And it appears he doesn't really have a great understanding, and I don't mean this critically, of what he needs to do. So he definitely needs to look into that. So we probably want to give him a little time.
Okay.
Excuse me, all violations has been cleared and bills been paid, and
Sir, you need a special permit. You got to figure that out.
yes,
Right, so there's nothing we can do. You need that special permit, so you do have to go downtown and figure that out with the planning board. I believe is what Attorney Smith said earlier.
okay,
Okay, so what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do is, if it's okay with the rest of the commissioners, actually, let me just ask the commissioners, should we continue this for a month from now or 2 months from now, being the Attorney Smith said, you know, this may take a little while? I believe he will have to go in front of the city council and the planning board.
Second,
2 months.
yeah, 2 months, I guess. I don't know how long it's gonna take for him to get on the agenda for the city council, so, it's a good question. Well, let's go with the second meeting in July, and like everyone else, if it's ratified before that, he can come, ask to be put on the agenda beforehand. But other than that, I think the second meeting in July should be sufficient. Attorney Schmidt, what do you think? Is that 2 months a good viable time?
I think it's a viable time.
So
Okay, and any other suggestions from the commissioners?
I don't have a problem with that.
I'm fine.
Okay, then I'd like to make a motion to continue the Orchard Card Company, Inc., DBA Orchard Card Company, Inc., located at 421 Main Street, Indian Orchard, regarding tax issues and special permit issues to July 23rd, 2025.
second,
Second,
July
Commissioner
20.
Cade,
Yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. Thank you, Ed.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Next item on the agenda is Clark Auto Sales LLC, DBA Peña Lopez Auto Repair, located at 971 East Columbus Avenue, Jahaira C. Lopez, Manager of Record, and this is in regards to a customer complaint. Who is here for Clark Auto Sales? No.
Is it complaining here?
Ms. Jahaira Lopez here? Nope. Like to make a motion to continue the Flyer Auto Sales at LCDBA Peña Lopez Auto Repair located at 971 East Columbus Avenue. Jahaira C. Lopez, Manager of Record, regarding complaint to our next meeting, June 11th, 2025.
Ah. Second,
Yes,
Commissioner Cade,
yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Next item on the agenda is 240 Chestnut Street, Inc., DBA Top Shelf, located at 240 Chestnut Street. Milka Ramos, Manager of Record. And this is to clarify who exactly is the Manager of Record at 240 Chestnut Street. Anybody here for?
Yes, Carlos Melendez, manager on record for 240 Chestnut.
Carlos Melendez, Manager of Record, on record for 240 Chestnut?
That's correct.
Okay, I believe last time that we looked, and I believe it was as of this afternoon, it shows that Miss Milka Ramos is the Manager of Record.
Can I speak?
I think
Let me speak, Carlos. Hello. Hi, good evening. This is Paul Ramish. The change of manager for Top Show was done, I will say, a little almost 5 years ago. Why Milka's name was never changed on the license, I have no idea. But if you look at your minutes, that hearing was a little over 5 years ago.
So, Paul, I checked all the records today, and for the three businesses, what we have is Milka Ramos for Top Shelf 1, Carlos for Top Shelf 2, and then Carlos again for Faces.
No, yeah, we explained this to you at the last month at the entertainment license hearing, and we went through all the locations. I think the mistake here, and I don't know who is it from, but I'm sure. I mean, and you can verify this with Dan Kelly. We went in front of the board, and it was a little over 5 years ago, before Top Show 2 was even open. The change of manager was made when it went from Wonderland to Top Shelf. That's when the change of manager was made. So if you look at the records, whenever that was done, which was, I would say, 5 years ago, that's when we had the hearing. The same day that we had the hearing of the change of DBA, we had the change of manager.
Okay, but Paul, who should be the manager of record? And we just want to clarify. So who
Carlos.
should be? No, hold on. Let me go one by one. So who should be the manager at Top Shelf 1? Carlos?
Carlos.
He's the manager at all three?
It's all one location. I explained this to you last month.
No, I remember that, but
yeah.
So
it's
there's
all one
only
location. It's
so
all one
Paul, there's
building.
only one license.
No, it's it's 3 licenses.
Okay.
The reason that you have Top Show 1 and Top Show 2 is because of Top Show 1, it's an adult entertainment license. The licenses cannot go into the side of Top Show 2. So that's the only reason I have 2 different legal licenses. But it's all one building. We all know the building is the building across from the old motor vehicle.
Right, but I believe, Paul, that if you have 3 different licenses, you need 3 different managers of record.
No. This has been common
No?
practice. No, the Mardi Gras and the 350 Grill have done it for 15 years. I did it at the zone for 20 years with Pedro. This is common practice. What you guys need to understand is this is the building. These are the 2 places. This is Top Show 1. This is Top Show 2, and this is Faces, right there. They literally, you have 5 feet away from each other. That's it. So, and if you look at the records again, this has been common practice in the city for over 20 years. As long as the places are door to door, there has never been an issue, ever. Like this is not new.
And also it's all connected in the basement.
Yeah, it's all one building. It's all one building. Like Top Show 1 and Top Show 2, they're connected. Like there's no wall in between. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in between. Literally nothing in between. Then you have Faces, which is right next door.
So there is no wall dividing these places?
No, the two between Faces and Top Show 2, yes, there's a wall. And then Faces, Top Show 1 and Top Show 2 are just one location with 2 different licenses, with 2 liquor licenses, because back then you guys wanted me to get a separate license and wanted me to go in front of the neighborhood and all that good stuff. And that's what I did.
Okay, Attorney Schmidt, I'm a little confused, I think. I don't know about the other commissioners, because I always thought that each license had to have its own manager of record. So this being common practice, I
I've been
didn't know about it.
Yeah, you can check the records again. Like, I don't need, I've been doing this for 25 years in this city.
I
Again,
understand you've been doing this for 25 years. I just want to make sure, I mean, we caught on, we have our questions. So we just want clarification, and I would like our attorney to look into it just to make sure that we are doing things right and that you're doing things right. So that's basically it. Yes, Attorney Smith.
So what I would suggest, because I did go through Paul, the history with Top Shelf 1 today. And what I found was that Milko Ramos is the manager of record. So why don't we continue this? I'll go back and I'll look at if there is in fact a transfer to Carlos and that's been missed somehow and there's an error, and I'll look into that since you suggest there was, and I'm certainly new to this and I wasn't around 5 years ago. So I can look into that, Paul. And then with regard to obviously we already approved Carlos to be the manager of record at 2 locations at once. And that's very clear from the history. So obviously there is some kind of practice in our history of having 2. So I'll clarify that question as well. And then we can just make sure everything is up on the up and up. But if it is your intent, which you've already stated, that Carlos would be the manager at Top Shelf 1 as well, I'll go back and see if that was in fact done, if you're correct. And if it wasn't, we can reach out to Attorney Kelly and get it done, assuming he can be on 3 licenses. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And just so even if you look at the violations we have 6 years ago, you'll see Carlos at the hearings. Like, he's always been Carlos. Like, for the violations for Top Show. When it was Wonderland, that's when Milka was on.
Okay.
But yeah, whatever you guys need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, any questions? No.
And I wouldn't need more than the next hearing to figure out the answers to this.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to continue the 240 Chestnut Street Inc. DBA Top Shelf located at 240 Chestnut Street. Manager record to clarification to our next meeting, June 11th. Is there a second?
Second.
John. Commissioner Cade? Commissioner Cade? We can't hear you, but I see a thumbs up. Okay. Um, Commissioner D'Angelantonio,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Then I'd
Thank
like
you.
to make, oh, okay, hold on. Then I'd like to make, we're going to go ahead and do all three of them now, Paul.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to continue Papa Ram Associates LLC DBA Top Shelf 2 located at 238 Chestnut Street, Carlos Melendez, Manager of Record, to our June 11th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Did we get him back?
Commissioner D'Angelantonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Last one, I make a motion to continue Selifer Associates LLC DBA Faces Grill Bar Lounge located at 234 Chestnut Street to our June 11th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade? Commissioner D'Angelantonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, Paul, and Mr. Melendez, we'll see you on our next meeting on the 11th.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Have a good night.
Night.
Okay, last item on the agenda is a Section 77 final hearing for P2B Springfield LLC, DBA The Place to Be located at 1000 Hall of Fame Avenue. Gina Luari, Manager of Record, and this is to review the status of the liquor license. Is anybody for The Place to Be here? It's not.
Who's FTF Holdings?
I think that was Paul.
Oh, okay.
No, that's it. Who's Ryan?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's you.
You changed your name, Andrew?
Okay. Okay. Um,
I transferred over to my phone. Sorry.
okay, all right. So, I mean, at this point, open, let's have an open conversation. What, as a commission, what are we thinking we should do with, the place to be? This has been going on for a little bit now, for a while. We don't know whether they are going to go back in that space or not. We haven't heard anything from Gina. She has not called the liquor license, as far as I'm concerned, to give an update. Any ideas, any suggestions?
To me, from the start, there hasn't been any kind of urgency of trying to work things out. And everything is pretty much delayed, no contact or anything.
I agree. I mean, we've got still open violations with this business.
Yeah.
Or unresolved violations, I should say, not open, unresolved.
So, yeah. I mean, I think that me personally, and of course, we would all have to agree, but I think that at this point, perhaps we should take back the license under the Section 77. And if they just, straighten everything out and want to come back and reapply as new, then we can entertain that at that time.
So if that's what the board is looking to do, that would be a motion to cancel the license. That's what it would be called.
To cancel.
There is an appeal process on that, which is sort of akin to a new application allowed for in the statute.
And And just jog my memory, she was in front of us, was it 2 sessions back, or was it just the last
No,
meeting?
I think
It was
two,
just two,
Two.
at least two, yeah.
2 or 3, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think it was 2.
This establishment has been given, I don't want to say latitude, but a lot of leeway. We did have some experience with them not answering our office on request before. I think didn't Nicole or Edna try getting situation resolved with them in the past? And it's been where either no answer or, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, is it a stalling tactic? I don't know. I'm just saying it because it's been, these things been happening. Either they're not showing up, or when they do come in front of us, they're telling us a story, and we go on and give them the latitude of letting them, okay, we will extend it, but I think there's gotta be a point that we have to close the door on this, because I don't think we need to start setting a precedence on other establishments to be doing the same thing. So I think we need to close this door, this chapter on them, and go ahead and did you get it, Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Oh
know,
man.
we need to like close the door on this, and yeah, there's an appeal process. We should go ahead and cancel their license. They can appeal it. Am I right, Mr. Attorney Schmidt?
They can.
They can and start the process, but they also have to look at their own situation and look back and all the stuff that we have done to let them continue, even with the violations that have been lodged against them. We have gone continuance. It's got to come to a close one way or another, and they got to reapply or appeal. But we got to close this somehow. Somehow or another, a decision has to be made by this board to close this door, because it's just I feel that we're getting abused on our
I think you're right.
good heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree. Let's put
I
some of
agree.
the onus of the work back onto them.
We know we like to keep establishment open and stuff like that, but it's got to come to a point that we have to close the door, and they're gonna have to reapply, appeal, resubmit, whatever. But we got to close this, and I think this has been going on. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Close to a year or more.
We've been having issues from last year all through this new year,
Yeah.
the new license. So
But they can't say this. They can't say this commissioner has not been sympathetic to their needs, because I think we have done all we can to help them continue and fight whatever situation they have. But it has, and like I've been saying, there has to be a closure. So
Right.
I would like to put a motion that we cancel their license, and close this chapter.
Second,
I'll second that. Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, a strong yes. Okay, I think that's all for today. We don't have any administrative incidents to review. Unless there's anything else new, then we are done for today. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 6:32 p.m.
Second,
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.